In the 2019 academic freedom report, what we saw was that when we presented a paragraph that was, say, pro-academic freedom, people read that before answering a question like, is free speech more important than emotional safety? You can actually get undergraduates to shift their opinions like 15 points when they read something about the history of the battle for free speech. But you can also shift them 15 points in the sort of emotional safety direction when they read about historically marginalized groups. So that opinion is up for grabs in a way that the PhD student opinion is not, and the academic opinion, by and large, is not. So any efforts need to be focused on the sort of people before they become adults. I mean, that is really where opinion is more malleable. So I still think there is a lot of hope that opinion can be shifted. And of course, the Free Speech Union wants the government to be teaching about free speech in schools. I think that would be an excellent idea. Also, students, when they come to universities, should receive just a standard mailing informing them of their rights, their free speech rights being protected, why this is important. That should be standard issue as well. So I think we have to make the case to younger people, because I don't think it figures in their thinking very much. I mean, one of the things on the FIRE survey, one of the questions was actually about allowing someone on campus who said all whites are racist. Now, that's a central tenet to critical race theory, which is interesting, but there, only 25% of students were in favor of allowing such a person on campus, which I thought was quite ironic given the emphasis on critical race theory. But so there is a sort of knee-jerk kind of intolerance that is partly ideological, but it's just partly because they haven't learned about the importance and the value and the struggle for things like the right to criticize the government in the 18th century in England. You know, even these sorts of things, the Cultural Revolution in China, none of those stories they know, whereas they know all about, you know, civil rights movement and the Nazis and all, which is great, but they don't know anything about the things Orwell talks about, or the battle for the right to criticize and publish against the government. You know, none of that is part of their education, from what I can tell, and that needs to change, I think.